Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Seeing if there was any scraps left available, and unfortunately, this means that Tien gets an all-access pass to PP God, who does not have flash from before, and he can connect all of his spells and guaranteed first blood for Weibo. Team, it is a mountain dragon, so some extra resistances definitely does not hurt.
Yeah, this is the perk of Doingby, just getting such a big lead in the mid lane 1v1, or being able to generate early as we see some damage coming down onto Xiaohu with that ult, but Tibbers dropped. Tibbers obviously...
You get the one Void Might, which is stronger than what one Void Might used to be in the last patch, but not as strong as two Void Mights. As a gank and collapse from Doingby, no flash from Breathe. I think this guy is dead to rights, and he's just going to sit in the alcove and cry. Doingby will pick up a kill for NIP.
Nice proactive play there from NIP. They continue to play the map better than the Taliyah Xin, which is never ideal. As Weibo Gaming look to try and make a counterplay on the top side. They're going to stop the back.
But do they cancel the other one? Oh, they throw the E, and they have no idea he was still there, though. And they turn around with the PP God ultimate. Xiaohu had no idea. The flash from Leave aggressively. He knows that there's no way out, so it's only forward to at least guarantee a trade 1-for-1. And we're at 2-2.
In the back half of this game to follow up on a lot of those engages. Getting him as much gold as possible here is big, but Tien continuing to grow his lead in the jungle.
Really nice patience from Aki. Xiaohu TP'd in onto the bot side, did not have flash from the prior fight, but does Aki have enough damage? There it is. Ooh. Crushing blow with the Sheen empowered proc. That's another at least give them some extra turret pressure. Doingby on the roam here. Breathe is quite tanky on this Ornn, but he's already chunked to nearly 50% HP. And now below 50% HP, Doingby should just be able to blow him up, and unfortunately, Airhawk cannot get there in time to equalize the difference.
Yeah, he's just late to the play by a little bit. The flash is a little excessive, but unfortunately, it is going to be Breathe once again getting targeted down on a side lane, but with that pressure that was pulled, it should be a free dragon here for Tien. That's nice to at least stop the stacking, try and get it on something that's a little bit less valuable on the front line, but Breathe, once again, could be the target here. There's the area, though.
Breathe had no idea that that Searing Charge was going to be his last, as Aki had slinked through the shadows of that alcove brush, guaranteed that they could get another kill onto Breathe. Tien will at least be able to pick up the wave here, but meanwhile, mid lane, 2v2, Leave is in trouble, burned both Flash and Ghost, trying to run for the hills, but Tien is going to cut him off. That's definitely a feels bad man for the Varus, as he is not able to escape with his life.
Yeah, not entirely sure what he's doing there.
We knew Tien was able to finesse on him, and some of the uncomfortable counter jungling he had to experience. He still has found his way into a solid spot. Trinity Force Spike picked up. They're already starting up the Rift Herald, halfway through it already. 2k HP. The collapse is coming in from Weibo Gaming. Aki secures it, but now he's in a very bad spot. Does he have enough cooldowns to get over the wall? He's going to send it with the Cyclone, but Tien falls in the middle of the collapse of NIP. They all funneled into the pit, and no one else from Weibo Gaming was able to help out. Everyone was too far away.
Opened up entirely. We talked about Weibo having the potential to control this map with things like Taliyah, things like Xin. It's been flipped entirely on its head, and this game is now in the hands of Ninjas in Pajamas for sure.
And just like that, 1,000 gold advantage total at this point. A Rift Herald unlocking the mid-tier 1 would give them a few extra 100 gold on top of it. Dragon already started up. Tien waiting in the shadows. Trying to get vision down with Weibo Gaming, using the Void Seekers from Light. Not gonna go for it. They just give it up, knowing that it would be too dangerous to walk.
Scary start, so makes a lot of sense. But Breathe now on the top side.
Lands the knockup on the Doingby. He still has flash. He's gonna try to flash away from Light, but great Searing Charge from Breathe. And who better to pick up the gold than Light on this Kai'Sa?
That's exactly what Weibo need to find. They need to find these picks in side lanes that can create gold for their primary carry, which is going to be Light on this Kai'Sa. The cleanse is burned there, which is important for a potential Otacon fight if that does end up happening, but Xiaohu now is going to be taking this topside turret. Important that there is no teleport available. That means that to make this play, they are happy to concede the Otacon. Certainly a bit of an interesting decision, a very aggressive one. We've seen Otacon priority go up massively on this new map, on this new patch, but we'll see if it ends up paying off. This would be sole point for them if they are able to grab it here. It looks like it is going to be relatively uncontested as Xiaohu tries to get this tower top lane. try to trade Doingby as much as he can.
Oh,
grab it.
Really nice job by Xiaohu. He's okay absorbing the Tibbers because
Which is really interesting here is we could see a skirmish as they catch out Aki.
Really good flick on the Aki that's going to force the Cyclone. Can Tien close the gap? Aki already suspecting that potential, flashing away, but the Weaver's Wall is going to cut him, and a whip becomes lightning into Flash.
Oh,
Isn't
Aki.
enough damage though? No! Aki survives. Tien thought that he had it and was trying to walk away from the incoming turret shot. They're trying to hunt for Aki. Do they know that he's in the bush? Did it tag him? It did. It forced him to recall. Breathe. He's going to send it for the searing charge, and the Bellows Breath is what ends it all. Magnus storm under the tower. Doingby's in
PP
trouble.
God.
Here comes the re-engage. PP God. Massive Pop Blossom, but doesn't do enough and only trades 1-for-1 so far. Weibo Gaming still on the assault on the front, but there is the Thornbound Otacon doing work, already finishing off Xiaohu. But Light and Tien are still alive as Tien is going to dash over to a clone, not find another kill, but they're going to get a tier 1 on the bot side. But Leaf during this whole time was just sieging mid.
He wasn't even there! They didn't even have their AD carry for that entire fight, and yet they're still able to walk out of it relatively neutral. It's very sloppy from Weibo Gaming. They just barely aren't able to clean up. Aki and Xiaohu, I think, takes 4 or 5 tower shots throughout that and just kind of dies throughout the process. It's a very, very messy fight, but at the end of the day, it's still gold going into the pocket of Weibo. And now you are looking at, maybe not a big gold lead, but something that, they actually can play out from here on out. Light has 2 kills, and they're starting a Baron.
They know that Doingby doesn't have TP. They saw him getting the wave on bot side. I think that is why they're making the call. Solo Kill has a TP as well, but he's already here in the river. He's going to be the first one to face check alongside Aki. No flash on this Wukong.
So low.
Weaver's Wall will cut Aki off, but he can just sneak in with the W clone. And
No
Solo
way!
Kill that steals the Baron out of all people. That's freaking crazy. NIP lose their jungler,
the
but bottom side jungle. The only recluse that Weibo Gaming has is that they have vision thanks to that crab.
Yeah, I'm watching for Breed's ultimate. That's going to be the big go button, but it's actually Solo Kill going first.
Wow. Okay, Solo Kill ultimate canceled by W from Breathe, but he's already taken a lot of damage from Leave on the backside. Forced to leave. Tries to take a recall here. He has teleport, so he can rejoin the fight, and he still has Call of the Forge God. So ult advantage for the side of Weibo Gaming.
Yeah, the teleport's going to come back in, but this darkness, it's such a problem for Weibo because there's so many pick tools. More ninjas in pajamas. The dragon has started. The dragon is gone.
They're not going to get a chance to get it. Tien is nowhere near. Infernal Soul secured. Solo Kill tries to absorb it, flashes away from the flick, and now he tries to step up with a decimating smash. PP God, it's just a clone. Now Aki initiates with the Cyclone, looking for the backline. Light is forced to flash away. PP God finds the Plow Blossom to fall up as well. Urha falls to leave, and it's all into the backline. Xiaohu and Light, but they get stunned up by Solo Kill, and even though he goes down, he has done his job. PP God and Doingby are still alive, but Tien Wei, he can turn around. He finds another PP God, and now it's just up to Xiaohu. But PP God, the last man surviving on NIP. That was a pretty nice flank angle, but PP God and Leave. We'll seek him out. Weibo Gaming now starting up the Baron, trying to bait NIP in. The Weaver's Wall, a little bit more preemptive. Throws Solo Kill and PP God on the other side.
They're
Aki
burning
can still get over the wall. 5k HP. Aki, can he get closer this time? 2k! It is secured by Tien. PP God tries to follow up with the Pop Blossom, but the flank from Urha is good enough to buy space. Light now in the 1v3 goes down, but he still has the GA. Xiaohu still has damage. See if he can carry out the fight, but Solo Kill is still alive, and he is massive. Doingby able to find Light outside the GA and kills him, but Tien pops off and is able to survive, finding a triple kill. Bursted out. There's a potential flank from PP God, disguised as the Wukong. Tien, can he pull off a miracle? 2k HP, who gets it? Leaf secures, and now Elder buff is on the side of NIP. Tien will be the first one to fall. No more Baron buff, no more support on Urha for Weibo Gaming, and now it is NIP with the keys to the kingdom. We'll see if they can close this one out from here.
And just as it felt like it was getting back in favor of Weibo, that the pendulum was swinging once again, Breathe gets caught in bot river trying to get some sort of vision, and they have to burn so much just to get him out alive. It ends up being a 4v5. It's a free Elder Dragon, and IP are going to be pushing in. Leave is going to be very, very dangerous in this situation with that Elder buff available. But Kaisa, Talia, they are still alive. The front line here of Ornn, they're still alive. Can they hold?
17 seconds on TN. If NIP don't win from this position, I don't know how they will, but they're sending it. Aki onto the backline. Cyclone. There goes Xiaohu. Breathe still tanky. Light is still surviving. They find Aki. No way to defend this, right? Timbers is trying to force Light away from the base. Urha falls. TN's back up. Hit the Nexus. NIP. Do it. Do it for NIP. And they finally do away with all 5 members of Weibo Gaming and pick up the first win of the series. Rival CC that was drafted for Weibo Gaming up until that point. But now that you have this Nautilus, you can always throw the depth charge. The Nefiri.
I understand the idea behind it with Grubs being so strong, but it looks like NIP are going to be happy to take that trade now, something we would have seen a little bit more familiar a patch ago. Decision on my front, and we're going to see Weibo attempt to try and take advantage of PP God being potentially alone under tower here.
Death charge on a level 5 Alistar. No level 6 ulti available. That's an easy dive. First blood goes exactly what Aki's now trying to do with the push in. Meanwhile, bot side, yeah, that's Leave going down. And now Ninjas and Pajamas have to force this. Goinby is here. Even though he's a victor, he's willing to drop waves and roam to the top side of the map
going to take
force
forever.
this 3v1. She has an Eclipse now. Maybe they can go for something. Okay, there we go. NIP. See that Breathe is isolated in a 2v1. He tries to flash away, but Leave will commit the ultimate and going forward under the tower.
No
as
way.
Breathe is still surviving. That definitely took a while, but Ninjas and Pajamas got it done.
Yeah, but they get the full tower top lane for it, which is still very much worth it. I'm glad that they're making proactive plays, but you have to wonder if it's a little too late. You're going to be able to get some gold onto Leave here, which is, the most important thing for moving forward.
Carries have 2 items. We're flipping a fight. If we get something good off of it, it's great. Meanwhile, actually, we're going to take a fight earlier. Stand United comes in. Light is in trouble, but he's got 2 shields for the price of 1 fight. And now the bullet time is a great angle to shred through Aki. PP God is overextended. Here comes Solo Kill. Maybe he can make the difference. Look at Solo Kill going! He sliced up 3! He sliced up 4! No way! Is he gonna get a pentakill in the second series? Not quite. It was only a triple kill. Leave got the 4th one, but NIP off the back of Solo Kill coming in with the Mbessa saved the fight.
We were waiting for that Mbessa power spike. I think we got there, Rafa. I think we found the Mbessa power spike. What a teleport from Solo Kill. That fight looked lost for Ninjas in Pajamas. It was a great start to the fight. Light has so much damage right now available to him on this Misfortune, and he's able to put out so much of it at the start of the fight with the Shen ultimate on top of it. Because the flash is used, and is there to set up the bullet time when Solo Kill does get this big flank off, and a great ultimate from him. He's got 3 lines to the back line here. Both of the carries are just...
It was the one fight that they needed to win, right? I mean, we were expecting them to wait until 2 items collectively across the board. They're able to spring it further on 1.5 spikes, and the fact that NIP flipped big on it is huge for them, because now it keeps them available. Meanwhile, Leave has Flash and Barrier available. He's going to get the Solo Kill onto Light, but should go down in this.
Everyone's here. He's killing Era.
Yeah, he still has Flash available, and now Breathe is going to follow him over the wall with his own Flash. All right, that's the end of the Leave train right there. He was definitely cooking, though, and it looked fun.
He was absolutely. Is this going to be the same?
You definitely don't want to give up this one, at least for free. Teleport is coming in. Solo Kill is going to join the fight. He was massive in the previous teleport. Can he do it again? Tien already forced to use the W. PP God is super deep. Aki goes on to Xiaohu, chunking him to about 50% HP. Breathe using the Stand United. And guarantees that Xiaohu is still relatively healthy. 2k HP. It's a big flip. Who's going to get it? Aki secures it. That's massive for NIP. Tien is able to get the first reset, but they're held down by the Solo Kill public execution. He flashes forward, finds the backline. Xiaohu trying to stay alive. Tien falls. Xiaohu falls. Another triple kill, this time for Leave. And NIP are starting to roll ahead with the game.
They just play it better. They do a great job of getting Tien out of the pit in order to secure Otacon, and then they give so much room for Leave to free hit on the back end of all of that fighting. Solo Kill has been absolutely massive this game.
Had a lot of questions about NIP's passiveness in the first 10-15 minutes of the game. We were questioning, are these objectives being given up all
Somebody overextended. They're going to look once again here on the top side.
The fact that Solo Kill has not shown yet. He knows something was amiss. Tien at least closes the distance with that first cast, and now Breathe able to follow up. The Shen delivery system works. Shutdown goes over to the Shen. What can NIP do on the cross map? Doinby is going to now commit to pushing on the bottom side. Should be able to get this tier 2.
Yeah, pings are coming down on Baron. That's definitely the call. Weibo has started up. The tier 2 is going to be gone in the bot lane. We'll see if he has enough time to teleport in after he ends up taking that tower, or if he wants to full commit to the split push. But this is big for both teams.
TP is committed from Doinby. 5k HP on the Baron. Death Charge used to stop. Aki goes in W, but he's focused on Breathe instead. Baron is secured for Tien, but now it's all about getting the hell out of there because Leave is supercharged with the Zeri. Here comes Aki cutting off their escape route to the left. I don't think you're getting out if you are Weibo Gaming. Tien was the only survivor unless Light! He stuck through the shadows! Oh my god!
Secret Agent Light! He's out of there!
Then the misfortune, because there's so many ways for NIP to disrupt this MF. They're trying to play with their Baron buff and look for a tier 1 on the bot side, but NIP say,
they're just taking the inhib.
We'll take an inhibitor tower instead. Sure, go ahead, take our tier 1 bot side.
Now it's Weibo's turn to be making the very questionable decisions. Inhibitor for tier 1, not a
tier 1. But this dragon is burning down rapidly. Solo kill waiting for an angle to be opened up here. Dredgeline goes wide, good by PP God. Puns Tien away, that guarantees the dragon being secured. And now Grand Star fall to the back line. They have to keep Aki away. Death Charge right on top of Pantheon. Solo kill, finds line into the back line. He flashes away, solo kill, forced to flash. PP God gets taken out by a stray rune. And Xiaohu is trying to keep his distance here. He has to hold his ground, looking for Doinby first, but he pops the stasis, buys time. Good Dredgeline right on top of Leave. Can he do it? No! Xiaohu pops him. Breathe, still alive. Doinby looking for the kill, but it's a realm. Really relying still on Xiaohu and Tien's individual advantages to be the difference makers in this fight. Baron has been started up. 8,000 HP. Realm Warp. I don't think anyone got a chance to go in there. Breathe is the only one that's in. 900 HP. Aki secures to the rest of Weibo Gaming, trying to just struggle getting through PB God, and now Lead is ready to press the assault here. Aki backs him up. Breathe is the first one to fall. Bullet time. Decent damage on the backline, but it's not enough to carry the fight through. Solo kill and Aki are able to just blitz through the front line, wipe out the backline, and everyone is gone from Weibo Gaming. Definitely show the cam on solo kill because he is helping make the difference for NIP.
And that's going to be NIP taking this series 2-0 as they march down into the base. A fantastic team fight as the inhib responds. Some clutch performances today, none more so than their new top laner, and I'm feeling good about this new look Ninjas in Pajamas.
In their second series with solo kill, Ninjas in Pajamas pick up. And as we have seen with Beichuan on this roster for BLG, we have expected him whenever he is playing things like the Sejuani.
Didn't have a level 6 there. Very, very close, but not quite.
On below 300 HP, Elf at 50%. Hope is sending it with the Killer Instinct, knowing that he has level 6. Whoa! I was not expecting that damage to come out, but that is first blood for Hope.
Yeah, Hope stayed alone in lane as Kale actually roamed, so he ended up getting that extra tick towards that level 6. Reminder right there, Elk had lost his flash in the previous 2 versus 2.
Glacial Prison used, gets the flash out of Tarzan. He is level 6, but it's not gonna be able. Oh, whoa! Beichuan stole the last grub. That's 3 grubs for them, and Tarzan no flash. Equalizer right on top, thanks to the collapse from Ben. He's flashing on top of KL, knowing that he's got nowhere to go. Big fight win for BLG. On is here with a 3v2. Elk already pushed in the mid lane, so they have push in. KL's the target. He's still not level 6, so he doesn't have the damage reduction from his ultimate. Shanks is under fire, tries to look for a jump onto Beichuan. Wait a minute, Shanks almost outplays it as KL found another one on the before Knight is able to clean it up. Hope is now trying to match Elk here on the other play.
BLG that you are stronger when you are taking these fights, so there is no reason to force the issue right here. They're gonna take the easy path, just take the referral, maybe bump it onto the mid lane tower, see how fast AL responds, which is not fast enough because Susana was in the side lane. Shanks didn't commit his TP right here, so that's a pretty uncontested the last target for AL. Talking about this BLG, as Sejuani with a 1 trillion HP trying to scout away, and the dragon has been started.
8,000, already 7,000. BLG trying to force their way through the top side of this river. Knight getting ready to check Tarzan, knock him up. Maybe equalizer right into the back line. Knight is able to connect as well. Tarzan secures the dragon, but can they win the fight? That's the big question. Tarzan just getting sold out by Bin as he follows the deer over the wall and burns it for roast venison. BLG, what a massive wipe of the fight. Takedown 3. It's at least nice for anyone's legend so far, but now the Otacon, they have full pressure on it since Shanks was forced to base. This is going to be a massive team fighting buff for BLG.
I mean, right here, BLG cut off AL from their own jungle, which means they had full control over the bot vision. And I feel like I've had a slight beef right here in this game, particularly with AL on their vision control and the setups
But
around
also their front line has to create that space, and the onus is on them to be even more diligent about doing so. As with this lead, BLG is 2 levels down, so he's just using Flandra to safely walk in and guarantee himself even more gold and a little bit of extra XP as fast as possible. But the proactive TP ensures that Knight is able to clear out this tier 2 on the bot side, or at least that Flandra was able to answer it, so Knight doesn't take the turret quite outright. Bin is answering on the top side, and even though
Hold up.
On going forward with the quickness, being able to find Shanks into the back line. Glacier Prison was already exhausted. Oh, great equalizer. H1 trying to flash on top of Shanks, but he's able to use the buzzer shot and the jump to get away, but that means KO is left for dead, and Elk is able to win. A Baron is alive, and look where BLG are already going for. Bin is just going to stall this fight as long as possible, and eventually he will die, but he's going to pop the Seekers. This gives more time for BLG to burn down the Baron, and don't tell me Shanks dies too to the Leandry's buff. That would not be ideal. All right, well, Shanks
Time of
survived.
the week. And I feel like this game is as good as clinically done, I think, for BLG right here. All they have to do is just use their pressure, get that Yone on the side lane, grab the remainder of tier 2 towers that remain for AL. They're all pretty low HP. Just dispose of that, keep AL in their base, rinse and repeat.
And you know what? Even active those as possible, just so that they can create space for Shanks and Hope. Tarzan knows he's not going to be the big carry this game in terms of being able to DPS all these guys. He has to make plays.
So, this is still a win condition right there. The only problem is that you're stuck in your base. You can't walk in your jungle. Hold on.
Flandre forced to already use the onslaught. KL trying to go in onto Elk, but he's by himself. That's an easy 5-on-4 now guaranteed for the side of BLG.
Hanks has it. Hope has it. Like, they're right there, but BLG just have push everywhere. If you cannot walk inside your own jungle, you cannot walk into the river, you cannot play for those objectives. It doesn't matter at this point, I guess, how many items you do have.
Look at what
rough
Knight
game.
is building. Yeah, it is definitely a tough one for BLG. Okay, they're going to send in him right on the Bin. They know that he's isolated, but he still has a Zonia's now. H1 is here to see if he can bail out his top laner. Teleport comes in for Knight. Hope has sent it, and it ends up just being a 1-for-1, which is not where you want to be as anyone's legend. Flandre will fall as well. Knight picks up a double, and BLG, knowing that they have a 4-on-3, they're going to try to take as much from the base as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, AL, they had to make a move. They tried to make a move, it didn't work. Tarzan?
3Q man flash into the Lilting Lullaby, but Knight still had the QSS, is able to pop it so he doesn't fall asleep, and Tarzan is the one going night-night. Shanks, the only damage carry left, but Elk flashing forward to guarantee the Feather Storm into the rake pullback. Anyone's legend now down all 5 members. BLG, the only thing that's saving anyone's legend for now is that they don't have a minion wave immediately to push into the base, but it's coming through. And will they have enough time to push for the end? Probably not, just the inhibitor turret.
That fight was so anticlimactic because you mentioned there was no way for BLG to actually end the game here, so rinse and repeat. They're arriving from that mid lane. They weren't really that far away. And on the screens right now, the base on pretty low.
Super in trouble. KL and Flandre trying to beat the front line as much as possible. On doesn't get the grand entrance, but finds the quickness on the Shanks. He's stunned up for a moment. Tarzan following up with that bloom, but Flandre is still getting burned down by the rest of the damage dealers by BLG. Shanks tries to send it for Bin, but he gets interrupted by H1 with that Arctic Assault. Elk is still pumping. Knight is ready to send it once again. Tarzan trying to find damage as much as he can. Shanks jumping in for Bin, but he's getting spaced and Astro glided on. No way out for this Tristana. Elk picks up a triple. Hope died somewhere in the timeline as well. Tarzan's the only person to try and defend his base.
BLG are just too far ahead. The levels, the extra items are coming through. The 10,000 gold lead is coming through. And they're gonna clean up this base. First inhibitor is gonna fall down. They're gonna leave the bottom lane inhibitor still standing. But if you look on the top left of your screen, it's 20 seconds for the next Baron. So making sure that you're setting up for the big purple worm is more important than taking that second inhibitor. I mean, one push and we'll take that. Oh, nice!
Tarzan doesn't even get a chance to pop the Zhonya's hourglass. He knew he was cut off.
AL. It's gonna be a pretty free Baron for BLG.
Get a chance to look at the picture-in-picture. It looks like that's where Hope died in the aftermath. It was just Knight forcing the issue, flashing
2
on.
0 as the 1 0 is pretty certain right there. You know how we said that, as I'm saying, is a BLG just pushing with Baron right here, guys. It's as simple as push the towers, kill remaining AL members, end the game. It'd be so funny because we're saying that this top 2 is much isolated from the rest of the teams, but BLG might actually insert themselves back in that conversation.
Potentially, now that Beichuan has brought some revitalization that was needed for this roster. Anyone's Legend already getting stunned up by that Glacial Prison. Flandre trying to hold his own, but he's already down to 50% HP. Knight does a lot of damage out front and out the back, but
Knight
at least... Oh my
just
goodness.
took the explosion to the rest of his team.
You know what? They don't care.
Why not?
BLG are like they can take the explosion. Or anyone's Legend just gonna send it right here. Tarzan right in front of Beichuan's face. Flandre is gonna take up as much as he can. Unstoppable onslaught onto the frontline members. Tarzan looking for that lilting lullaby, putting members to sleep. Shanks looking for the first reset on a Beichuan, but we've got Hope diving past. They found Elk. They're down 12,000 gold advantage by the way, and somehow anyone's Legend. They're bringing it back. BLG, they cooked too much. They disrespected anyone's Legend, and now AL have 5 members to 2 on the map.
BLG sent it as a last-second resort for themselves. Get away with 3 kills, a bunch of shutdowns, and most importantly, the Dragon Soul. Just as a reminder right here, when you are 3-4 items deep, when you're that far into the game, items don't matter as much. As you can see, okay, overstaying does matter though, so Knight's gonna get another one for himself.
Just carelessly split up like that again, but the fact that anyone's Legend was able to pull that off gives them a second win as they're gonna try to defend this siege onto the bottom inhibitor.
Yeah, that was done through many choke points and many avenues inside that jungle. Right here, it's a pretty much plain open field for BLG. Like, oh, that's a very early ult!
Forced to use the Thunderstorm early. KL's gonna send it. They had to defend through the front line. A lot of damage right into Flandre and KL. And Knight finds Shakes this time around. Hope in a 1v5. I don't think it's gonna happen this time. BLG, stop with the cooking, start with the precision, and close out this game for the first win of the series.
Huge win right here from BLG, picking up that first win versus AL, who 2-0'd the #1 team in this split in the likes of Tess. And BLG, if you are a believer, you're gonna have sort of like a very hard time in pinning down certain champions to try and capitalize on them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Trouble. I think anyone's Legends methods
So
of
impressive. And when Lucian Nami trades onto you, you've got shields, you've got mobility, you can literally play through the wave and stuff like this. So this is a small positioning things that you can do. You guys are also playing in your solo queue, Karma, Ezreal, to sort of like River, no quite yet onto Hope. However, BLG are looking to fight this.
H1 trying to cut off KL. Remember, this is a squishy Nami forced to flash away. Dragon was secured for the side of anyone's Legend. They're going to try to push Beichuan away, but the Crescent Guard is at least blocking a lot of damage, but they're still able to do him away. And now BLG have to kite on back. Trust in Elk's Ezreal on, trying to buy as much space as he can. Forced to flash away on the Karma. Bin being another front line here as Tarzan sent it for the Grand.
Elk doesn't even have his 3D force complete, and right here, Shanks.
Oh, Shanks, he tries to shift, gets the shield, but it's still not enough. No chance in trying to burn the flash away, and Knight could be in trouble here, but if he can cut this one out from Tarzan, maybe it'll be enough. He blocks incoming damage, flashes the seismic shove, and finds the spear, but now can Beichuan equalize it? Doesn't find the wind, becomes lightning. Tarzan walks out alive. Really in a fighting position to walk up. Meanwhile, Shanks is looking, and he flashes over the seismic shove. Knight still has a flash of his own. No Weaver's Wall for the next 2 seconds, but he's not getting out of this one. Shanks being able to rise up and get one back for himself.
I think this
OG
is don't necessarily have a formation they want to play for. Talking about formation, Beige one, looking for Shanks.
Oh, wait, but
is that
Shanks
a
was
TP?
trying to... He tried to TP and he got canceled. Oh, boy. Just as the praise was coming through for getting the 1v1 on the night, Beichuan.
Insanely confused right there. Maybe it was a misclick by Shanks. It doesn't make sense any other way as Hope. Hope?
Helk already burning the barrier here, force the flash away, but here comes the Pantheon, but great by Beichuan to at least punt him away for a little bit, but still Elk goes down to Hope's Lucian. Here comes the Sand United, but it was canceled. How was it canceled? Did Bid hit the W and just displace him? There's no other way.
There's no other way. Bin just hit over Flander with a wall, quite literally, and just moved him over. Holy, I don't know if we're gonna have a clip of that top lane.
Please,
of whatever
I would
happened
love
right
to
there.
see if the Observer... Oh, please,
Here we go.
Wcast. There it is! I love this game, man.
That was perfect. That was perfect. Okay, but that fight was pretty much a calling on what we're expecting to see.
Shanks, this could be trouble. He knows that Shanks doesn't have a flash of his own. He's gonna shift over the wall, but Bid,
Oh,
he
they do.
takes the E! Burn, burn, baby, burn! It's not gonna happen. Shanks survives.
Ooh. 1 HP right there.
Back on over, seeing if they can catch out on here. Has flash available, dashing aggressively. The tether is connecting and roots him up. Beichuan now gonna dash on in. He tries to dash away, but Beichuan falls with his own flash. Crescent guard at the ready. Tarzan's in trouble. He has to fight a 2v3 and he's bailing. He's leaving Gale to die, but at least this fish has a flash of her own. And now Knight is coming to pay the piper. Tarzan could be in trouble. Cannot sidestep the seismic shove. Was trying to sidestep it, but BLG just running away with the game and extending the lead to 2,000.
It's actually crazy. BLG do not have the semi-globals to follow up on a fight, but they're committing their bodies into the case, and they're just outnumbering AL in their own game. They're looking for the mid lane tower.
Flandre could be in trouble, has a flash if necessary. Forced to flash over the already. Elk is forced down below 60% HP. Bin is the target now. Tarzan looking for a flashless York. Stun sets up the kill for Shanks to be able to pick up the pieces with the Sand Soldier. It's actually Tarzan that gets him. Meanwhile, fight back in the 2v2. Hope
Nice.
able to sidestep the True Shot barrage as BLG continue to push the pressure. Beichuan now looming over to the bottom side of the map, knowing that Tarzan was here. He is 13, level 12 against Tarzan. Sand United is coming through. This time, the Shen arrives to the party, but can Shanks provide the damage necessary? He's too low to compete. Beichuan fighting to the very bitter end, but he finally gets cut off. BLG able to...
See that Bane is actually starting to walk those up both side river, but then he realized otherwise. These big chunks are what we're talking about when we're like, oh, this is what Lucia does really, truly well, and it's been displayed right there. The trade that you take, the fact that you've got an extra member on the map, but now that Atakan is the one under threat, this is where you see BLG like actually move to try and find him.
Could be tricky. I don't think Bin is moving quite yet. Is he going to commit? No, he's TPing now. They need to compete for this Otacon. Already below 4,000 HP. Tarzan's on the other side. They got to stop dealing damage and wait for Tarzan to get back around. The Weaver's Wall cuts him off. He can't get in. Beichuan cast the Crescent Guard and punted him away, even though with the flash that Tarzan had, Thornbound Otacon just got gifted to BLG. They're going to run one down and look for more stragglers here. Bin, can he slow the members down? Hope getting tagged by the ghouls. Another E does not connect. Flash from Knight, looks for the seismic shove, forces the flash out of KL. Anyone's Legend is sent packing, and BLG dominate the map.
I want you all to know that Knight had 0 damage this entire fight, and yet he was the most impactful of them all. That wall to cut...
To completely run the map.
And Zinza is one of the best champions to do that with. You get ahead in the early game, he's accepting their vision inside the top quadrant of Tarzan's jungle, which can then mean one pick, could mean Baron. Hold up, talking about picks.
Beichuan's got to be careful though. Here comes the Shen looking for Knight as Shake scoops him right into the taunt. Beichuan also falls next, and Anyone's Legend surge back to life as they now have a 5-on-3. Baron is alive. No jungler from the side of BLG. They can try to rush this objective down.
What? That is a Beichuan giveth, Beichuan taketh from the side of BLG. That was a little bit too deep, and AL were so quick on the trigger. However, that is Poke Ezreal and Karma versus 5, sure, and Bin's on the top side, but let's see if they can poke enough to stop AL from taking down Baron. Oh, I think it's
Can't even
working.
get into
Oh,
the
I
pit.
think it's
Shanks is
working.
now looking. He doesn't have Ember's Divide. He's just giving his life to try and force Elk out of the pit. He's already used Flash. He's already used Shift. They're charging. Oh! They locked Tarzan. Bin on the flank. He's going to give his life to make sure that there's no more smite for the side of anyone's legend. Baron is no longer a thing for AL. His homies, but Baron, official 6th member of the BLG squad, as this dragon is getting burned down. Tarzan sending it, immediately punted back by Baseline with the pressing guard. Tidal Wave rips the back line and just tries to stall them from now. Shanks trying to lock down the Sin Shao. Not enough damage comes through on the side of Hope's Lucian. It's enough to at least guarantee the tier 1 in the mid lane, and maybe anyone's legend could look to bleed this pressure into the top side.
Take a few more towers on the map. This is only the second tower that AL have been able to take. Hope. Nice dodge.
God. Oh! Hope is in trouble. Forced to flash. Here comes the Weaver's Wall. Knight is going to send it downtown looking for that Lucian, knowing that he doesn't have summoner spells here. Barrier already popped. Knight for looking one more. Tarzan going to valiantly defend his AD carry from falling. Shanks is in trouble, but he flies over the left wall. Tarzan's now in trouble. He gets flung back. Seismic Shove connects, and now they don't have their jungler BLG having open access to Baron.
What is going on in this game? We have Hope dodging, then he gets out, then Beichon dashes back in. They try to kill Hope, but he gets away, and then Knight sends it, but then he's not the one dying with no flash. What?
And this Baron is for free for BLG. There's no smite. No one can even get in range to see if they can try and yoink it away with a stray skill shot. Shanks, oh my goodness, I thought he was in no man's land there. Still had the shuffle. Knight boldly walks forward, catches Shanks with the seismic shove. Ember's Divine only pushes the back momentarily. Hope tries to empty the clip. A little bit of damage to the backline, but BLG got what they came for. Tarzan still dead for another 2 seconds. BLG will get the tier 2 in the mid lane. They're gonna look for as much as possible. TP from Knight rejoining the fight.
Can they potentially look to end right here? 35 seconds onto Azir. If they get a second pick right there with a knockup from Knight, they could potentially choose to end the game. It's not gonna be the case. AL are overextended, but BLG are forcing this game.
They have Baron buff on their side. They have Yord Maiden. They have essentially a 7-man push with Cannon Minion
No
and
way.
Maiden. Tarzan goes into the back line. Elk forced the flash. Stand united. I think it got interrupted again. No Flandre comes through. But if you only kill the support, that's nothing. You've got to take out Elk. But he still lives. And now it's Hope. The shining hope. It's not going to be enough to take out BLG. Revitalize, rejuvenate